All right. So you might just have to click your screen to accept. All right, so welcome to week 4 of psychic sensitivity class. This week, we're going to work on focus and attention and the different ways we can build that muscle. So let me share my screen. One of these days. Okay.
Oh, there she is. That's our teacher.
All right, share. Okay, so focus and attention. Can you guys see that?
Yes. Yeah, we can see it.
All right, so focus and attention practice. Focus and attention is a muscle, right? So anybody can build this. So, we see all of this huge population of people running around with, not only running around with, but identifying as I have ADD. I can't do this. I have ADD. I can't meditate. I have ADD. And that's very true, right? It is a serious struggle for people that have an attention disorder.
Everybody needs this class.
But everybody can build
Her boyfriend has ADD, so.
What is it?
My daughter's boyfriend has ADD, severe ADD and ODD.
Yeah.
So this class will be super good for him.
Yeah, and it's a serious struggle. I was diagnosed with ADD from, my mom said she tried to get me diagnosed from like a child, like 6 years old, but I was officially diagnosed in high school. And I will tell you, I took that on as an identity and it became a crutch. So I just want to share the hope that this is a muscle that can be built by anyone. Like it will be easier for some than others. But when you spend the time working on it and you'll start to see improvements, it is so, so worth it. Also, if you're trying to build your psychic senses, you really need to learn how to focus on one thing for a significant amount of time. So we're going to do a short attention and focus practice. So like I said, don't do this while you're driving. As soon as I find it. Oh, here we go. And if you want, what I can do too is maybe make a separate recording of just this exercise so that we can share it on the YouTube channel. So we are going to do we'll do a sensory focus practice. Oh, did somebody say something? You good? Okay. All right, so whoever's not driving, so Forrest and Gabe, as long as you feel safe to do so, you can kind of just sit with both feet on the ground and close your eyes. If you don't feel safe closing your eyes, it's fine too. You can just kind of like relax the focus of your eyes. So like, when you start to stare and things might look a little blurry, you can do it either way.
Yeah. Close your eyes. I don't have to. Oh.
Okay. So a lot of the time, particularly if we are highly stressed, we spend a lot of time in our own head, right? It can be really beneficial in those moments to move outside of that. Move our focus of attention beyond our thoughts and to what we can experience. So in this practice, we're going to focus on the senses and what they can tell us. Now, if your mind wanders during this exercise, that's totally okay. That's us building this muscle. So every time we notice that our mind wanders and is somewhere else and we bring it back, we're doing the right thing. So don't beat yourself up for that. We're not training our minds not to wander during this exercise. We're training our minds to notice the wandering. Okay. So let's just start by finding somewhere comfortable to sit. You want to be alert and awake. And we'll just start by bringing some attention to our breath. And when you start to feel ready, as long as you feel safe, like I said, you can close your eyes. We're just going to spend a minute here, just allowing our breath to return to normal. We don't want to be doing any special kind of breathing for this practice. We're just observing what's already there. So we'll just give it a minute. And once we feel like we're focused on that, on our breath, we're just going to, like I said, let it all go back into your normal breathing rhythm. So you're going to focus on how the air feels when it comes in through your nose. Does it feel hot or cold? How does it feel when you blow it out through your mouth? So now let's start to focus on sounds. What can you hear? And you don't have to answer this, just think about the answers in your head. Maybe there's a lot of sound. Maybe there are no sounds. Either way, that's totally fine. If you're not hearing anything, you'll just notice the lack of sound. If you're hearing sounds, are they close or are they far? Do the sounds bring any thoughts up for you? What direction are the sounds coming from? Are they constant? Do they change? Next, let's just move to see what we can see. So you can gently blink your eyes open if you have them closed. And just take a look at what you can see around you. The colors, the tones, the shadows. Are there big things or small things? Look at each thing individually. What is their texture like? Are they shiny? Is it a matte finish? What else can you notice? So moving away from seeing now, you can gently close your eyes again. And let's briefly move over to our smell. What can you smell a lot of the time? Maybe it's nothing, and that's okay. You might just notice an absence of smells. Or if you smell something, what is that sensation like? What does that smell remind you of? What does that smell make you feel? Smells can be quite emotive a lot of the time. If you get distracted at any point, that's totally fine. Just notice that you've been distracted and gently guide your mind back to the exercise. Now we'll move on to touch. How does the chair feel beneath you? Whatever sensations you can feel. You don't need to invent any. Just notice what's already there. And again, if you get distracted, congratulate yourself for noticing and for moving your focus back to the exercise. Now let's bring our attention back to the breath, just for a couple of breaths as we move towards the end of this practice. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. So how did that go for Gabe and Forrest? Did you guys notice anything that maybe you wouldn't have noticed normally?
You didn't do it. You only did it. How did you feel? How did you feel? She didn't do it. She was in the back seat.
That's okay.
Okay.
How did it make you feel?
It was good. I
Good.
like experiencing my senses, especially my smell.
Did you notice anything different than like you would notice just kind of like if you were just sitting in the car normally driving? I'm sure there's a lot of those sensations that maybe you wouldn't have noticed. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't really notice anything new.
Okay. Okay. That's perfect. That's totally fine. Can anybody see how this might help at building focus and attention, especially with ADD?
It seems similar to the five senses grounding exercise that I use when I have a panic attack.
Yes. Yes. This is a great thing you can use for anxiety, panic, and all of those types of disorders. This will really bring you back into the present moment. That's awesome. So you guys are already practicing that.
Like it's like a grounding. It's a grounding technique. 5 things you can see, 4 things you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Is that a DBT thing? Do you guys do DBT?
No, it was just something I found whenever I was struggling with a lot of panic attacks after I had been incarcerated.
Yeah. And you felt like this actually helped. It brought you back. It grounded you.
Definitely like focus. What?
Like back to the present, so they're especially useful with dissociation and with closing your eyes that would cause, at least for my disorder.
I'm talking about the grounding technique, the five things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can smell, 2 things, and 1 thing I always forget the 2 things, but 1 thing you can touch, like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking to me or your daughter?
I was talking to you.
Oh, yes. I'm very familiar with that. I think that's a super beneficial practice for a lot of things, for grounding, to calm your nervous system, to bring you out of panic. Absolutely. That's good that you're doing that. And I'm happy that it helps. All right. So do you guys have any questions at all about this?
No.
Okay. All right. So now we will move on to show like just some other ways that you can build attention and focus. Like I said, meditation can be really hard for people. So I just wanted to give some fun alternatives to people that feel like they can't really meditate or struggle to quiet their mind. So art journaling for me is very, very helpful. I don't know are you guys familiar with art journaling at all?
I'm not.
Okay, I can pull up some things to show you exactly what it is. A belief or prayer braid, which we're going to do today. We're also going to do some zentangle activities, so I can show you what that is. That's a great way to build attention and focus. Some other things that you can do or look into is yoga. Candle gazing, which we will do candle gazing in week 6, I think. I need to double check. But can you guys think of anything else that helps build attention and focus?
Weed. No, I don't think that helps.
What is it?
Weed.
Well, actually, that is very effective for some people. Maybe not at building attention and focus. Well, maybe I could totally see if somebody was really anxiety ridden, how weed could help the emotion and the anxiety bring you back down so that you could focus. So yeah, I could definitely see that being effective for some people, for sure.
I have my med card, so I'm a daily consumer.
Yeah. So, and do you feel like that helps you with your attention?
I do, actually. I do feel like if I'm having struggles, like I do a lot of pop-up shops and events. I think I posted a video in the chat so you guys could see my booth at the last event that I did. And at those events, it's really hard for me because as an empath and a person that can feel other people's emotions, being around a crowd of people like that can be super overwhelming. So like having my pen or my wax pen or blunt can help me come back to focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
My
Get
purpose
out of the emotion.
That's how I last for the whole event. When I do big events like that, I just remember my purpose for being there, you know?
Right, exactly. Right. And when we get into those moments where like our nervous system starts to like really get activated, we need to do what is effective in that moment, not what other people think works, not what other people tell you works. it's really important that you're doing what is effective for you. So if it seems like you found your thing, so I would encourage you to keep doing that if it works.
You asked if we have any other ideas of what like might help you focus.
Yeah.
So I have a dissociative disorder, and I have a service dog that I'm training, and she helps me focus personally. So like having an animal or an animal that's trained.
Yes, I love that idea. I've read a couple articles about how service dogs and horses can be so healing for people that struggle with these types of disorders. That was an awesome one. Do you guys have any other ideas? You guys are coming up with some awesome things.
Maybe drinking tea or a hot beverage that helps you calm down.
Yes. Oh, that's a great one too. Yeah, like chamomile.
Yeah, because I make my own tea bags that have cannabis in them too, and then I make them regular. So I have like dandelion and red raspberry tea bags, and I have hibiscus and mint tea bags that I made myself. They're kind of cool.
Yes, that is really cool. I love that. Okay. Do you guys have any questions about this before we move on?
No, I feel like tea is a really witchy beverage.
It's a really witchy?
Yeah.
Yes, totally. Totally. I think so anyway.
I feel like I put my intentions, like I've always had tea most mornings, or like my husband will say, "Oh, I can tell you're stressed out today because you had more than one cup of tea."
Oh, but look at him noticing. That is incredible.
Making tea is a very calming ritual for me.
I could totally
calming. Just like I put my same amount of sugar, the one cream, it's just I'd make it the same way all the time. Now I use all different flavors, but I make it always the same way. I don't know. For me,
no, that's really
my big go-to for calming and focus.
Yeah, that's cool though. So it's almost like this ritual of preparing your tea helps to calm you too then, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And this next week, I'm going to be experimenting with infused honey. So that's going to be cool.
You're going to experience, what is that?
I'm going to experiment with infusing honey.
Ooh.
With different flavors and perhaps maybe some cannabis too. Because I already make cannabis oil and tincture to put in whatever. So.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Let me know how the honey comes out. I've never thought of that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I want to try it. I think it would be good for my tea.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Okay. So this one might be tough for you guys. Do you guys happen to have a string with you?
Do we have any string with us, Katie?
Even shoelaces or anything that you could tie together to make a braid.
Yeah, he's taking the laces out of his boots right now.
I love it. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is a belief braid. So we'll just talk about this while he's doing that. But what you would do is get 3 strands of yarn, string, twine, anything that you can use to make your braid. If you're using something that's the same color, you can add a bead or a charm to the end of your string. And we're going to do 1 strand that's going to represent our thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. Another strand to represent the resources available to you. And then the third will represent the opportunities available to you. Let me switch to my handout here.
So what you need to do is you need to tie the 1 string in the middle of the other 2, and then you'll get 3 strands.
That's a great idea.
Since you only have 2, tie 1, get the middle of 1, and tie the other one in the middle there. Hold on.
Take your time. Just let me know when you're ready.
You know what I'm saying, sis? Okay.
I can make 3 strands out of 1 string.
Can they see me by any chance?
They can.
Okay. So like if you only have the 1, then you can just kind of put it in half and we'll make that work.
She's going to make it into 3 for him.
Okay.
on foolishness.
I actually forgot to post the link to all of the handouts. Let me just do that real quick in the chat.
I did see that in the chat earlier.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
When we get to our hotel tonight, they have a computer that you can use, so we'll probably print them out so the kids can try again while we're sitting still.
Perfect. One of the packets we're not going to go over today, but it's just like a coloring book, like an adult coloring book, because that's a really good way to practice this attention and focus too. Just let me know when you guys are ready with the string, and then we'll continue.
Ready?
Ready? Okay. All right. So what we are going to do here. Wrong thing. Can you see the image that says belief braid?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, so you're going to take the strand that you're going to have for your thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. And then while holding that, repeat after me, okay? I open myself up to new ideas.
I open myself up to new ideas
And new ways of seeing the world.
and new ways of seeing the world.
I open myself to becoming a new person.
I open myself to becoming.
I open myself up to having new insights I've never had before.
I open myself up to insights I've never had before.
And allow myself to try on new perspectives of thought.
Allow myself to try on new perspectives of thought.
Beautiful. And then we'll just take a moment and just reflect on what that means to you. Does anybody have anything they want to share about what that means to them?
He says no.
Okay,
Me, it's
so
like
fine. This
really,
is quite
it's
personal.
really setting your mind up to, I don't know, for me, I just learned recently like how manifestation works.
Yeah.
Something really big. And then I shocked myself that it worked. Like for like
Yes.
a whole day. Right, for a whole day I was like, oh my gosh, I really did that.
Yes, that's so incredible. And then you proved it to yourself and now you know you can do it. Like how empowering is that?
Right. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get more specific with my manifestation because I could have got way more than I did if I'd have just told the universe I wanted more. So basically,
Right?
manifestation is a simple explanation of manifestation to me is telling the universe what you need and asking it to give it to you nicely.
Yeah, you're right. That's a beautiful way to think of it. Okay, so what was that?
For things you need. I think manifestation works better when you ask for things you need, not things that you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I've heard put it in like present tense, ask for needs, make sure you write it down, and whatever you write down, like interact with it once a day, like whatever keeps it like that focus, like right in the tip of your mind. So like, for example, this belief braid could also be a manifestation braid. Like if that was your intention when making it, and then if you wear it as a bracelet, then you have that constant reminder of what you're trying to manifest. So like in this exercise, because it's for the psychic sensitivity class, we're manifesting more, I guess, like opening up to our abilities. But you can totally tweak these words if you'd like and make it or personalize it to make it, you know, for whatever you're trying to manifest. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then you're going to take your second string, and this is the resources available to you. And while holding that, you're going to repeat after me. I open myself up to meeting new friends and teachers.
I open myself up to meeting new friends,
Study groups, organizations, and books
study groups, organizations, and books
that I need most right now.
that I need the most right now.
I open myself to find and welcome
I open myself to find and welcome
all of the resources in the universe
all of the resources in the universe
that are available to me and that I need at this time.
available to me and that I need at this time,
Whether they are physical, mental, or spiritual in nature.
whether they are physical, spiritual, or mental in nature.
And then you'll just sit with that for a moment. Does anybody have anything they want to share about that? So then you'll take the third string, and while you're holding that, you're going to repeat after me. I open myself up to create
I open myself up to create
the opportunities I need to experience the new ideas and connections that are coming.
new ideas and connections that are coming to me.
To provide myself space
Provide myself space
and time in which
time
to have insights and new experiences
Have new experiences.
to have new experiences
and to see my beliefs in action.
and to see my beliefs in action.
I open myself to personal
She said, I open myself to personal growth. I open
and,
myself to personal growth
and spiritual growth
and spiritual growth
and to exercising personal responsibility.
and to exercising personal responsibility.
I open myself to all of my gifts,
I open myself to all of my gifts,
even those I don't know I have,
I don't know I have,
and to growing in unexpected and surprising ways.
to growing in unexpected and surprising ways.
And then just sit with that for a moment. Does anybody have anything they want to share?
I just joined. I wanted to say hello.
Amina, hi.
Hi, how are you
How are
doing?
I'm doing great. How have you been?
I've been good as well. I've been in college classes, so I've been a little everywhere, but I'm definitely glad to hop in. I'm glad you're hosting
Good.
another class.
I'm so glad you're here. Let me grab the link for the Google Drive documents.
Okay.
And I'll post that in the chat.
Okay, perfect.
Where am I? Okay. I always like lose it and I can't get back to Zoom. Okay. All right, so that is posted in the chat. And Amina, we just started making a belief read. So let me pull that back up. Here we go. So basically we took 3 strands of yarn. You can use twine, shoelaces, whatever, whatever it is you need or have. And then one will be your thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. The other will be the opportunities available for you. And the other one will be the resources available to you. And like I have the instructions in here. Feel free you can always just sit and watch us and do this later if you'd like to. Okay.
Okay.
So we're just going to move here. All right, so what we're going to do now, you have your 3 strings. We're going to line them up at the ends here and tie them in a knot. About 1 inch or so away from the end. Then you can like put these under like a heavy book or have somebody hold it for you so that you can begin to braid.
Gotcha. There's that peach place that we went to yesterday.
What was that?
We just drove past the little gas station where they had all different types of peach flavor and everything. They had peach ice cream, peach salsa, peach beef jerky.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So when we begin to braid the strands, right, we're just going to, as we cross this first string over, let me see if I can put this down so you can see what I'm doing here. So as we cross this first string over, we're going to say, I am open. And then let yourself fall into a rhythm here. Open. As you cross, open. 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 We'll let your mind calm and drift a little. And as you're braiding, I just want you to see yourself opening to new ideas and insights. See yourself pulling together the resources of the universe in a new and exciting way to create opportunities for enriching experiences for you. You're going to weave together the things that you need for your growth at this time. You're going to see the people, the teachers, the friends, the books, and the ideas all coming together when you need them the most. And still saying open, open.
It's a spell. You're making a spell. Let's get it out.
And when you're about 2 inches from the end, you're just going to tie it off with another knot. And as you tie this last knot, we'll say something together, or you can repeat after me. So just let me know when you are ready. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Did you say that you were ready?
I said if he didn't have to, his shoestrings are kind of long because he had boots, so I told him he didn't have to braid it all the way down. He could just
Okay,
braid
yeah.
it part of the way because I'm sure he's gonna put them back in his boots at some point.
Right.
So you can tie it now. Are you ready?
Okay.
Just tie it around each other and like take all 3 strands and tie.
And you can always do this again later when you get home. If you want, like, if you don't want to have to like untie this and put them back in your shoes, if you want to have one to keep. So as we're tying, we're saying, I give myself permission to be who I truly am. I acknowledge all of my feelings, beliefs, questions, and uncertainties. I accept responsibility for my spiritual growth. My beliefs and the actions that flow from them. I step courageously into the unknown that lies before me. Because I trust myself. The universe and my concept of the divine. to support me in my journey. So for the next several weeks here, you're going to carry your braid with you. You can wear it, you can put it in your car, put it on your keychain, wherever you will see it frequently. And then once a week for the next month, you're going to take your braid off or home. You're going to untie it completely. And you're going to start again with the first knot and the rebraid. And then you rebraid it. Repeat the words given earlier. And then after a month, you can either keep it as a memento, or you can pass it on to someone else who is trying to build whatever you did with that braid or braid.
Are the affirmations that you guys did while you were doing the braid, are they in the Google Drive file?
Yes. Yep. They're in. It'll look like this. The one that says belief braid instructions. Another way you can transmute this intention too is if you bury it in the ground or burn it when you're done safely.
She's not talking about your shoestrings. She's talking about the permanent one we do.
Yes, don't burn your shoestrings for sure, unless you're buying new shoestrings and mom says it's okay.
Okay.
I personally,
when you said you gotta burn it, he was like, ah.
Yeah, you don't have to burn your shoelaces.
I personally love burning things. Like I kind of burn things too much.
Yeah, well, there's something like, for me anyway, like especially magical about having an intention and then burning it to transmute it and bring it into reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that.
I actually I use a piece of robe, and then I've got like strings from my hoodies. So I'm tying them right now. These are from, so my mom is about to move and I'm over here grabbing the last of my clothes and things. Yeah. So these are clothes that I'm like getting rid of anyway. So I think it's,
oh my gosh, that was such a great idea. Yes, that was such a great idea.
I know whenever I went to Blessed Bacchanal at the end, when they did the ritual at the end, they had people throw their intentions into the bonfire, like written on little pieces of paper. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. Especially to be there in person with all these people doing, that's got to even feel like just super magical.
Oh, I had such a blast at Blessed Bacchanal. I can't wait till I can make another trip out there whenever we do it again.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, I would love to do that too.
And plus, so I only started practicing in October. So I had just joined the school, like, I want to say like 6 or 8 days before that. So I really don't really know what I'm doing, like, at all. So like being around other people that have been practicing for a long time, really know what they're doing. It's like, it's very helpful. And the community there in Colorado, the magical community, is very open and welcoming. And I love that about that.
I've heard about that in Colorado. I am dying to get out there.
It's not so much like that as much in Missouri. Like, I'm not saying that they're not open. They're just not, I don't know. The school has such a great, generous spirit, because everything's free. So it really helps.
Yeah.
A lot of practitioners try to charge for everything. And the funny thing about that was I had just put money up for my taxes, like literally a few weeks before I found the school to take a Reiki healing class. And the class that I wanted to take was $1,500.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, so, and I haven't been on top of the classes the way I should be, but I'm going to work on it this week.
It's hard, right? You have kids.
On my list this week is to really get on a schedule so I can. Well, I think like Alex said at the beginning when I very first started, she said a lot of people join and then they don't stay committed because they're not paying, because it is free. Whereas if you're paying for your education.
That's a good point. I could totally see that. Well, if you need help trying to get a schedule together,
or on top of it because you paid for it.
Oh, sorry, I feel like I'm breaking up. Can you hear me? Okay?
So I've been trying to get better. Like, I need to get on a schedule.
Yeah. Well, if you need help with that at all, let me know.
I can hear you,
Okay, good. I can help you try to kind of just get a study plan together if you'd like. Feel free to reach out to me.
My main thing is just like I really need to set aside a few hours each day and focus on magic, like literally on magic. Like my businesses are now built around magic.
Yeah.
The new business that I licensed for the crystals is called the Wonder Witch Emporium.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
And I did it as an emporium because I sell a variety of products, not just magical things. So I thought an emporium was like a great concept, you know?
That is really cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. And
So,
Amina, oh, I'm sorry, Hannah.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Amina, I just wanted to tell you too, I didn't realize last week that you weren't registered in the school, which is totally fine, but I wanted to invite you to sign up if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a free pagan school and they have a ton of things. And with you just like, you know, getting into this too and building all of your abilities, I think you would love it.
Absolutely. And what you were talking about as far as the learning schedule, I absolutely, especially being in college right now too, I think that's the biggest thing is like trying to figure out my schedule for everything. Like I've literally been getting signs from, because I've really been kind of tapped in with like the angel numbers and all that. And I've been getting a lot of them that are like, okay, well, now's the time for you to focus on your spirituality and you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so that's definitely one thing. I definitely got to start sorting that out.
All right, awesome. Let me just put in the chat the Facebook group. Hold on, let me find this again.
Okay. Also, what were you saying that that the ending of the braid is?
Okay, so the end of the braid will be, let me find it again.
And I didn't realize, but one of these strands is actually like way, way, way bigger than the others.
Oh, you know what? That shouldn't matter. You can always cut it if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay, so the very last one with the knot was this section right here. Can you see this? I give myself permission to be who I truly am.
Yes, I do.
Okay, awesome.
Pardon me, my little brother's gaming in the background.
Oh, no, that's fine.
You
want me to say it so you can repeat after me? Would that be easier or?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Just let me know when you're ready, hon.
Okay, let me unbraid just a bit. There we go. Oh man, hold on. I messed up my flow a little bit.
Fine, you're cool.
Okay, there, I think. All right, there we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The rest area or what?
So I give myself permission.
I give myself permission
To be who I truly am.
to be who I truly am.
I acknowledge all of my feelings,
I acknowledge all of my feelings,
beliefs, questions, and uncertainties.
beliefs, questions, and uncertainties.
I accept responsibility for my spiritual growth.
I accept responsibility for my spiritual growth.
My belief.
My beliefs. And oh, you started freezing.
And the action. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my internet. The past like it's been crazy. You know, let me just move into the living room here. Hang on a second. If my camera goes out, I'll hop back on.
Okay. I can hear you better now, but it's kind of just in and out. I know there's been a whole lot of energy in the atmosphere. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, I honestly was wondering earlier if that had anything to do with it. There's like no reason for it. I have these like Google hotspot things around the entire apartment. My Wi-Fi should be the best Wi-Fi ever. Let me just move all this stuff in here real quick.
Well, they trying to do that stuff in CERN, so no telling.
Absolutely.
I was wondering about that too. That does definitely freak me out a bit. for sure.
Very much so. And a lot of people have been talking about having very odd dreams lately. And I was in a space on Twitter last night, and it's a lot of empaths and psychics, and they were all saying kind of the same thing. And they were saying that it's been an odd energy of a lot of anxiety. Like a lot of people are one of them was actually saying that it's like a weird feeling of like a large threat coming.
Yeah. Yeah, that has
There's
been
a large threat coming. They're opening a portal to another world, and something that we don't like is going to come through it. That's why
Absolutely.
we all had extra energy, and we're all being called to learn our gifts because we're going to need those soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's been really crazy. It has been so crazy. I have been it's been making me so nervous because I'm like, oh no, it's right around the corner.
Sorry. All right. Now let me figure out how to get Zoom back here. Here I go, feeling like an old lady again. All right. All right. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let me get that Facebook link. And then while I'm doing that, if you guys, for the next thing that we're doing, I know you guys don't have access to a printer, Hannah, but Amina, if you have access to a printer, you could print out the zentangle pack that's in the drive.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that when we get to the hotel tonight. Or we'll be stopping for dinner in about 2 hours. We'll get to the hotel about 9.
Ooh.
So, I don't know how tired they're going to be. I'm sure I'll be exhausted, but they'll probably be woke.
Well, this will be fun if you guys can do this all together too, this zentangle stuff, like as a family activity or event. I'll show you how. So generally you would do this on your own, but if it'll be easier to explain after I show you. All right, so let me switch to that. And Amina, that link is posted now for the Facebook group. So what you would do is just go to that Facebook group, and then you would send a message and just let them know that you want to enroll in the school, and they'll get you all set up.
Okay. I was making sure I wasn't muted, but I thought that I finished all of the stuff for enrollment.
Oh, you did?
I thought I did, but so what exactly do I need to do as far as like getting the rest of the way enrolled, I suppose?
Yeah, so it's just a couple people that are trying.
I'm totally just going to step in. Are you Mina? Is that your name on Facebook?
Yes.
Yep, you're enrolled. You're all good. You are all set. And all the classes that you are taking are already being recorded and kept track of towards your certification. You're good.
Okay, cool.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Alex.
I think it's my name. It's my name because like I also I've got three different Facebooks, and I initially messaged with one and then messaged with another one and then messaged on Instagram, so it's kind of like tied around.
Yes. No worries, you're in. That makes me very happy. You're gonna love it. Okay, so for those of you who don't have a printer or who want to participate in this but don't have a printer, you can just grab a piece of paper. I just wanted to show you what like a typical zentangle tile looks like the size of it. It's just usually a 3.5 inch square, because you're making these very small little patterns, so it can feel very overwhelming to do it on a big page. So generally they're just 3.5 inches big. But we'll go into a little bit more what zentangle is. Is anybody familiar with what this is?
I've heard a bit about it, but not really. I've never practiced it.
Okay. So this is like one of my very favorite things to do. Like sometimes I do it while I'm watching TV, although I think if I do that, it's not considered like a meditative practice because I'm not completely focused on it. So it's best to do this if you're alone or with your family. You can have music playing in the background and really using this like an attention or focus practice. So zentangle is doodling or tangling, they'll call it, and it shows us how to practice non-judgmental art. We use small, purposeful strokes to create reoccurring patterns in our design. Like I said, this is one of my very favorite practices. It teaches us how to enjoy the process, and we can certainly use that now in every area of life. With zentangle, there is no erasing. At one point we might erase, but not, when you get into actually doing the design, there is no erasing. Just like in life, we cannot erase events and mistakes. Instead, we must build upon them to make improvements. Life is a building process, and all experiences are included into our learning process and life events. So I'll go over the steps so we can do them together, but just really quickly, you make a dot in each corner of the paper. So like, let's say this is your sheet, you'll just draw a dot with pencil in each corner, and then you'll connect them by making a frame. Doesn't have to be a straight line. It can be squiggly. It can be crazy looking, however you want to do it. This is like a very intuitive type of art. So after you do your border, you'll draw what's called your string or your guideline. And that's basically, like I said, I'll show you in more detail, but that's basically you're dividing this into sections now. You're drawing that with a pencil as well. So this represents the thread that connects all of the patterns and events that run through our life. This string will not be erased. It does become part of the design. You're going to use a black pen then to draw the tangles or the patterns into the sections formed by the string. And then we'll just rotate the paper as we go here. So just so you can see what some finished zentangle tiles look like when they're done. Sometimes people do black and white. Sometimes they do it in color. Aren't they pretty? And it looks intimidating when you look at it like this, but when you see how simple it is, anybody can do this. Don't be intimidated. Here's some others.
You know what? These examples just reminded me of where I've heard of this from. An ex of mine he loved doing these. He had so many different, I'll send some in the thing, but he had so many different types that he did. Like he did one with his hand. It was really, really cool. Ooh. Like he put his hand in the middle and then he just zenned around it.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, I would love to see that.
Very much so.
Yay. And here's just to show you, like, this truly does go step by step. Like they don't just throw you these things and are like, do it. These ones are pretty complicated, but at least you can see here how they break down each step. First you do this, then you do this. So it's all to keep you from being overwhelmed. Here's just a couple others. Okay, so now we're gonna try one. So I'm gonna pull up my whiteboard on this one. Oh, hold on, I have to turn the screen sharing on. Okay. So I also included, just so you guys know, I included in your packet for this week, a couple of my favorite tangles that are in a couple of my favorite books. So I photocopied the tangles and then the instructions. And then in the very back, I have the picture of the books, just in case you guys were interested in getting the books as well. Actually, maybe I should show you that first, just so you can have some ideas for what you want to do. Okay. Can you guys see where it says zentangle? I might have to share the screen again. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the packet that I was talking about. So zentangle is a miniature abstract work of art. It is created from a collection of patterns, not meant to represent anything. It is created on a 3 by 3 inch piece of paper called a tile. Yeah, so this size allows for a work of art that be completed in a short time. The process is a meditative art form using a pen and pencil. There are no mistakes in zentangle, so there's no need for an eraser. If you do not like the look of a stroke you have made, then it just becomes an opportunity to create a new tangle or transform it using an old trusty pattern. So zentangle art is meant to be a surprise that unfolds before the creator's eyes, one stroke at a time. Zentangle is one of the few art forms that you intentionally do not plan out. There are no expectations or planned goals of accomplishment to worry about attaining, or disappointments stemmed from unattainable expectations. With no plan to follow, there is nothing to detract from the stroke being drawn. The lack of planning and the tangles allow the unexpected to occur. All right. So here's like the steps like I was telling you about. So here's your tile, this first one. Then you would draw your circles and connect to make your border. This would be her laying down the string. And then you start to just fill each separate section with a different pattern. So let's just show you some of my faves here. Okay, so this one's fairly simple. What do you guys think about this one?
That is beautiful.
Isn't that cool? Here's another fairly simple one. So keep your eye on the one that you want to practice. We can always come back to this too if you guys want while we're doing it. This one is like my favorite book, The Dali Zentangle. I'll show you which one that is. It gives you like Dali practices. So it kind of helped me anyway, like stay on track. So that one's not my favorite, but this is still a good book too. No, that's not it. Hang on. This is the one. It's a 6-week course in creative drawing for relaxation, inspiration, and fun. So if you're interested in that. Okay, now back to sharing the whiteboard. Okay, so this is something, if you guys wanted to, where we could take turns and each fill in one part of the zentangle tile. Does anybody have access to be able to do that? I know it might be hard for you, Hannah, because you're driving.
I think so. I think so. I've never used this before, so but okay. I think so.
We should be able to just draw on it and then it'll show up for everybody.
Okay.
So the first step, if you guys want to draw along, if you have a sheet of paper, I would start, if you're using a sheet of paper, by making a small square, like just a 3-inch square. And then you would start by making these 4 corners, the dots in the 4 corners. And then after you've done that, you're going to make your border. So let's make our border like definitely not a straight line. Let's do something fun. Amina, do you want to go ahead and draw the string, like by separating that into different sections? If you're not comfortable, that's fine. Don't. Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, so do I just...
You should just be able to start either drawing with your mouse or with your finger, depending on what you're using.
Okay, I'm using my phone. Okay, there it goes.
Okay,
So
cool.
zoomed out. Here we go. Okay. Well, it's not letting me touch. It's letting me zoom out, but it's not letting me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Unless it's me, because I'm still kind of, I'm not really on Zoom very often. Let's see.
So when I'm trying from my tablet too, and oh, you know what? Try this. Do you see this up here where it has like an eraser, a pencil, like this section? Try to tap on that pencil.
I don't see that. Let's see.
Is there like a menu that you might be able to open?
Tapping around. Here's this. It's not showing me one.
Okay. All right. All right. No worries. If you want, you can follow along on a paper and then you can just show us if you'd like at the end.
Okay.
So, Hannah, I just want to double check with you. Did you want to give it a shot to see if you could draw on this or? Okay, I think they're busy. They were driving, so. Okay, so when we draw the string, there's no like perfect way to do this. There's no wrong way to do this. We're just going to separate this whole section here. And just let me know when you're ready for me to move on, Amina.
Okay. I think do I need to do I see what you did with the like, because I did a square, but I see like what you did with the outside part and the dots. Is that kind of part of it too?
So the square was just meant to represent like the tile. The dots were we just put the four corners just so we can make our frame. So you don't technically have to draw the outside square as long as you have like the inside shape and then have it all broken up into smaller shapes.
Gotcha.
And then let's see, was there any of those tangles that stuck out to you that you would like to try?
Well, not in particular. I think that the whole concept is very beautiful though.
Yeah, okay. I know I'm like completely putting you on the spot and you're very new at it. So let's just grab one section and just draw whatever tangle or design you want in that one section. We don't have to do the whole tile. That might take a while because there's such small strokes, but I did want to get you guys started. So I am going to trying to think of one that I like. All right, so I'm going to do, this one's pretty simple. The tiles don't necessarily have to fill in the entire piece either. Like it can be, like there can be blank space around it also. And the point is really just to kind of take your time on the strokes. We're not rushing it. And just let me know if you have any questions, anyone.
This is very relaxing.
Isn't it? I love it. You know, in like with everything going on in the world today, all the craziness, I do really struggle like sitting down and quieting my mind. It's like the worry of what's going to happen, how are my kids going to be okay, like all of this stuff, right? It's scary. Yeah, so in times like this, when emotion is high and worry is high, sometimes for me it helps to do like a moving meditation like this, because I have a focus, so my mind doesn't really wander as much. And actually, have you guys seen that Medium show on Netflix? this guy is a medium. It's really incredible. He's a medium, but in order to get the information, he carries a notebook with him. And while he's like tuning into spirit, he's just scribbling on his notebook. And he says that helps quiet his mind. So it's like the same type of idea.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's very.
Yeah. Do you want to share what you've done so far, Amina?
Yeah. Oh, can you, I don't know where my head is at. Oh my gosh. Okay. I always come here looking so busted.
No, you're totally fine.
Okay, wait a minute. I can't even see. Oh my gosh. Okay, how do I, gracious. Okay,
Oh,
okay.
I can see it. Yeah.
Can you see me, or is it on, is it on me, or you see
Your
my
paper.
feet?
Just your paper right now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
I love it. If you want, we pick, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, if you want, we could pick another section and move over to that.
Okay.
I'll show you my favorite one. See if I can do this without hitting the wrong thing here. This one to me looks like a spine kind of when we're done with it. Actually, I'll show you. So can you see this one at the bottom here? That one's my fave.
Oh, wow. You know, it's interesting. I actually wasn't looking at your paper, but I kind of started doing the same shape as you there.
No way. That is so funny.
That really is.
Hard to notice things like that too in groups that are all like practicing together. You'll start to be like energetically connected.
Wow. Honestly, it's been, I think what's kind of been getting me is just like knowing that there's other, like my family, I feel like my family's in tune, but not really in tune as far as like, I feel like, you know, I think it's just a matter of like everybody having their own minds about it. It's just what makes it so nerve wracking, because it's like, oh no, like, oh no, this is a magical war. Like,
yes.
Yeah. What do you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's, I think, what's got a lot of people so scared is because there's so many things out there. Nobody knows what is true or what to believe. So there's just a lot of fear. So I was talking earlier, yoga is really good for this type of thing too. For me anyway, it helps me. I feel like it helps me release like the energy. Like when I get scared or anxious, like I will literally feel like my energy shake. It's like the easiest way I can put it. But when I do yoga, it somehow like drains that or releases that energy, like grounds me back to the earth.
Absolutely. It levels everything out.
Right, exactly.
When the angels were telling me that I'm not doing enough, they definitely told me to go ahead and start doing yoga. I was like, all right.
Who was it that told you that?
You said, huh?
Who was it that told you that?
Well, see, I've been keeping track of like the numbers and stuff in numerology, and I look it up as like spirit numbers and angel numbers. And they really get so funny and so blunt sometimes. Like one of them was like, you have so many brilliant ideas, but you're a quitter. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Take everything you read about all of the things with a grain of salt.
No, for real. But I'm like, okay, well,
and leave the rest.
Like, but when it's like that, I'm like, well, I mean, you guys are in my head, so I guess you really know. I mean, you're right there. Like, it is true. I'm not gonna say you're wrong.
Oh, Amina, that looks so nice.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Hannah, how are you guys liking this? Are your kids interested or into it at all? If you're still there. So if we were like actually doing this, I wouldn't be going quite as fast. You know, I'd be making sure like all of the lines were perfect. That's hard to do on the tablet anyway, but
Very much so.
yeah, I would be taking my time.
It's beautiful though.
Isn't this great? This is, I don't know, this is something I just love so much.
Absolutely.
My kids are 15 and 16, and they both struggle with anxiety, and they find this really helpful too. And there's not many things I feel like at that age, like, you know, at that age, you are like hormonal and there's all this stuff going on in your life and everything feels so big. There's not a lot I feel like that they can do to, like that they will want to do to help bring them back down. And this is something that they actually find fun, and is very effective in settling their energy.
That's interesting. Well, first, you don't look like you have any 15 or 16-year-old kids.
Thank
honestly,
you.
Very much age with grace.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. My little brother is 16 going on 17, and my little sister just turned 14. And my little sister, I definitely can relate with her as far as like energy goes. She's definitely been everywhere, but she's gotten herself kind of tapped into her psychic abilities very at such an early age, and I'm here for it. But she's not like, you know, all the way. She's still developing into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm definitely gonna have to introduce this to her.
Yeah, you definitely should, or tell her to come into the school too. Is she a seer like you?
She is. She's actually more of a vivid seer than I am.
Oh, yes. That's great that she's getting into it so early too.
Mm-hmm. It was interesting. The other day, I came over here and she was like, "Hey, I got us some evil eye necklaces," and she just said that there was 2 necklaces and 2 bracelets, and she set them in front of us, and she was like, "Okay, we both pick," and we both closed our eyes, and like I was seeing a light X, and it was kind of like these 2 are going together and these 2 are going together, and then
Wow.
she was like, "All right, on the count of 3, we're gonna open our eyes and like, you know, grab them," and like I grabbed the ones that I was wanting to give to her, and she was like, "These are the ones for me," and like we like grabbed the same ones, and she was like, "I saw an X." I was like, "Wow."
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. And how lucky you guys have each other to practice with too.
Absolutely. Well, at least for the time being, they're about to be moving. I'm like, oh man.
Practice on Zoom. That's something I feel like some people don't realize, that we can, like, we're doing energy work, right? When we're working psychically, and we can do that anywhere, right? Time and space, they say, is just an illusion. So you can be on Zoom with your sister and still work psychically with her or practice together.
Absolutely. I didn't even think of that.
Yes.
I appreciate your wisdom.
Thank you.
I'm most definitely going to have to call her up and see about, you know, hey, have you had any dreams? Hey, let's, you know, I want to look, I'm going to need to at some point look into some kind of psychic exercises for us to do as far as like, you know, developing it.
Yes, definitely. I feel like, for you guys, Alex, do you have any recommendations for exercises to help Amina with, in her family, they're seers. So she started getting like vivid visions, and that's how she realized, you know, she was psychic or wanting to develop it. Do you have any suggestions for anything for her?
Yes, so I would actually suggest number 1, our sigilization class, because Shentat, the professor, does a lot of work with being able to not only see creatures that exist in other dimensions, such as the Fae and the Jinn and dragons and things like that, but he also does a lot of work with being able to see into other dimensions and being able to see other deities and being able to see auras and being able to see other people's energy and things like that. So yeah, I would suggest Shentat's classes for sure.
Absolutely. That is so interesting. And when I was in high school, honestly, it was when my diet was better. I was able to see auras, and it kind of, it went away for a while. I've been wanting to bring it back. But I've actually been kind of getting some vivid dreams of dragons lately. So that's really
Oh, that is so cool. We also have our African Fae class, as well as our Celtic Fae class and our dragon classes and aura classes that you can also take as well, that are all about being able to see different dimensions and being able to see creatures such as that in your dreams or when you're awake or in meditation.
That's amazing. I'm going to check out the class too. That's amazing.
No,
I mean,
really.
we can take it together.
Very much so. I'm all here for it.
Yes. So, okay, I just wanted to show you, since I'm rushing through this one, I just wanted to show you guys like one that I actually took my time with. You know, and you could just keep like turning them, seeing what you see. Here's a bigger tile. Just want to add a color. Swear it looks like a house, and that was not on purpose. And then in your packet, you guys have, I think it's just called the Zentangle packet in your class materials, where you have not only a square, but all of these different animal shapes that you can fill in. So I did one of those for you guys too. The Zentangle kitty cat. So you can really have fun. You can have so much fun with this. You can do, you know, your initials, your name. You can really do anything. You can do, I'm trying to think of the word, you know, like an outline of a person and fill that in with Zentangle. Anything like this is a very, like I said, very intuitive. So anything that you feel, absolutely go for it. Does anybody have any questions about anything that we talked about today?
I think you did a very beautiful job of well, I was here later, but from what I've seen, you've done a very beautiful job of being very thorough with everything.
Well, thank you. Your drawing is looking gorgeous.
Oh, well, thank you. Honestly, doing this makes me realize that I completely subconsciously did a zentangle. I'm gonna put this in the because I also was talking about the other one that I like. Honestly, his was really cool. Because he how he did his was like he started off like drawing a person, and then he just filled it in with zen like after that. So
yes, see, it's like you guys are, is this your boyfriend that was doing that?
It was my boyfriend at the time. Yes.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Oh my goodness, that is so interesting.
That is really cool.
I put it in the group chat. I don't really know where else to put it.
Okay. In the chat for the Zoom or the divination group chat?
In the chat for the Zoom. Or what? No, in the divination one. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go look. I wasn't quite sure how to do the one for
I see it. Yep. Oh wow, that is gorgeous.
Really, it truly is.
Wow. That's absolutely gorgeous. Look at all of that detail. Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, exactly. So you could take like some people I've seen do like, if you look on Pinterest under like doodling and tangling, there are some really, really cool ones up there. I like the landscape ones where you'll see like the sun or the boat, and there'll be all those different tangles inside of them too. And then also with your packet for today's stuff, there's like an adult coloring book, like, so mandala coloring. You can draw your own mandalas too. He could definitely do that with, that is just so impressive.
Very much so. Every time I got the opportunity to, like, there's no bad feelings there at all. So it's not like one of those like, oh yeah, you know,
okay.
But
I wasn't sure if I should keep talking about it or
yeah, no, like it was one of those things where I was kind of like going through spiritual puberty, and I was like just kind of in a place that I wasn't ready to, you know, but it was but he's so talented with his artwork, and anytime I could, I'd be like, everybody look.
Oh, that's so sweet. Are you guys still friends?
Well, he's in a relationship, so it's like I'm trying to keep healthy boundaries, but
That makes it hard for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. But no bad blood. It's all good stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna find this if I can, this other one, because like it honestly was such an optical illusion.
Oh, that's awesome. I love those ones.
Mm-hmm.
I like when people can do these on like a piece of paper and it looks like there's like a hole in the paper.
For real. Let me see.
Amina, Jackie has asked about you too. She'll be happy to see you in the chat from last week. She's like, have you gotten in touch with Amina? I was like, no, I haven't found her yet.
Yeah. Jackie has such beautiful energy. Jackie's the one that was wearing the glasses, the mother, right?
Yes. Yep.
I remember the guy that was with me, Quentin, he was really interested in her as well. He was like, because him and his mom like kind of went through, so he's got like a soft spot for moms. He was like,
so sweet how he started talking to her at the end. That was just so beautiful to even like witness and be a part of.
No, really.
You could tell he's got such a good heart.
Very much so. Okay, I put the other one in there. I thought it was so interesting because the little creature, the little creature in the middle turns into all kinds of different creatures. Like it's a cat, it's a whale, it's a thing looking through a hole.
Let me see. I don't see it yet. It's in the same chat.
Mm-hmm. It's loading. It's loading.
Oh. Here it comes. Ooh. Oh, I love that. That is really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, I love that so much. Yes, this is so fun. Oh, that is really cool.
Very much so. This is exciting. I am so in love with this.
Yeah, I can't wait to see yours when it's done.
I think mine is done now. I'm gonna take a picture of it. Or here, I'll go ahead and just open up the Zoom chat if I can. Is it still on the?
Yes, I see it. You can take a picture of it too and share it in the group. I'm gonna make it bigger so I can see. Spotlight. Oh, that's gorgeous.
I really am loving how it like the more you move it, the more it's like, where are we at? I don't know.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. You did a great job. So doing that, do you feel I know you said you felt like it was really relaxing. Like, do you see how that could help you if you're struggling or feeling anxious?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah. So
honestly glad. It's interesting because like looking at it, I can see my thoughts because like right here is where we were talking about, like when we started talking about the way the world is at right now, and then right here is when like when you started talking about the class, the class with the dragons and everything, and then just turned into magic.
That's a beautiful observation, Amina. Seriously,
I'm all here for this.
Yes, absolutely gorgeous. Yay, I love it.
And yours came out so good too.
Oh, thank you. It's definitely hard on this on the tablet, but I'm making it work.
Very much so. I see you kind of have like little, like when we started talking about the portals a bit, like you got like a little portal there too, two little portals.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
That is what we were talking about that. That is so interesting. There you go. You see, our subconscious really does run the show.
Very much so.
So do you have any questions? I know you came late. So if you do have any questions when you get your packets printed and downloaded, please just post it in the chat or reach out to me. I just want to make sure I'm there to support you through all of this the best that I can. So let me know what you need or how you need me to help you, and we will find the best person for the job.
Well, I absolutely am going to be looking into the classes that you were talking about, and I do want to find some kind of time to get a schedule, like a working schedule together as far as like doing all this, because this is so fulfilling. It's so soul nourishing. That's what I'm looking for. Soul nourishing.
I am so glad. Yeah, if you want, we can set up like a chat or a call if you want me to help you try to work out a schedule, or yeah, just let me know how I can best support you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it was awesome to see you today. Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely. And it was so awesome to be a part of your class as usual. And I thank you so very much.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for sharing those drawings too.
Absolutely. And I appreciate the love and the energy. It's inspiring. It truly is.
Oh, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next week or before that if we chat in the group.
Absolutely.
All right. Have an awesome night. Thank you again.
You too. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.
Alex, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay.
That
How
was
was
such a beautiful class. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. Okay.